Hey there, everybody. My name is Kate, and welcome to my channel, Trinergy Awakens Naturally. I had originally set out to talk about 8/8, the Lionsgate portal, which is a huge portal that's today. However, if you're here on some other date, don't worry, you don't have to go away because energy is energy and you can play with it at any time. However, the August 8th portal of Lionsgate, it's a very strong one. You can grab a hold of that at any time. However, if you're here on 8/8, good for you. I went walking this morning and walked over the bridge to the beach and made a whole video, and it's weird. It's weird. It can't be heard. It's got in and out comms. And that's somebody that's, energy that's trying to block me from saying what is the truth. We oftentimes find that when we're ready to speak the truth, tell the truth, and be the truth, we might find some alliances that we've made along the way that are not so happy with that decision. And that's okay. They have to go away. They have to get out of the energy frequency that we're about. And for me personally, let me identify as me exclusively and to take this into my realm, because I don't want to assume anything about your journey or your walk. You are your own person. I am my own. However, energy is energy, and it is neither created nor destroyed. And I look to always be upcycling my energy and on 8/8, when that's a perfect time to 88 and correct that frequency where I have been misaligned and out of my divine. I look to align very strongly with the higher frequencies and those frequencies that are coming into the planet right now and offering new moon in Leo and new energy, new ability, new frequency, new understanding of me. I wish to align with that because the most comfortable spot may be for me to go with the old. It's the old and the slow, and I really don't want to go in that direction. It's what's familiar and comfortable, perhaps comfortable, uncomfortable, comfortable, because it's what's known. However, if I'm going to be uncomfortable anyway, then I might as well go this way instead of the old way, because what's the old comfortable is not what's serving me best. And truly, folks, if it's not serving me best, it's not serving other people best. And I don't mean that in the narcissistic way. I mean that in the most altruistic and vulnerable, humble, innocent way, that if it's not serving me, then I shan't play, because it's not going to be serving humanity. I'm looking to serve the greater good. If I'm looking to serve me, I'm in the wrong hood. If I'm only looking to serve me, I should say, then I need to go away and work on that until I'm out here to play and engage with society, humanity, and my own divinity in a way that's here for what is my highest good. Now, not everybody plays by the rules. Not everybody has to. They don't have to. Everybody gets to choose, and they get to discern. However, at 8/8, that's when I get to earn the title of, hey, I'm entitled to certain frequencies because I live my life a certain way. Then I wish to play. And anybody that's not in that frequency, that doesn't wish to play by that frequency, they don't care anyway. So I'm not denying anything, anybody, or their way. I'm not. And it's my task, my job, and my wage to earn to not burn people that choose to earn their wage in a different way. Now, that's a pretty daunting task sometimes when we're looking out here and going, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And so here's a perfect opportunity with Lionsgate 88, 8/8, 88. It's a perfect opportunity with new moon in Leo to grasp a hold of new energy and assign ourselves to a new frequency if we so choose. And I would like to choose that, because the old frequency, anything that's old and slow, it's got to go. It didn't work, then it's out. And I'm looking to constantly evolve, constantly grow, constantly know something new about myself, because otherwise I may get stagnant, I may get bored, and I may get stuck on a boardwalk an hour and a half ago when I was making this video and going, well, how come that didn't work? I don't know how it didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. It doesn't matter. The higher frequencies said, yeah, let that go. Even though you uploaded it to YouTube and it should work and blah, blah, blah. That's the human understanding. And if we're really working in those dimensions that are higher frequency, it's well above the baseline human understanding of me, of thee, of we, and humanity. We are in a time now with Lionsgate with so much coming at us, so much frequency that can be healing. It can be bombastic, can be terribly combative if we go against it. That this is the time, though, to choose. How shall I choose? Well, I choose to be working in alignment with divinement and refinement. Then I'm going to assimilate those frequencies as best as I can and not be freaking against them as best as I can. And my human mind has to understand the sublime and understand the frequency of divinity is about what's the greater me. Because the greatest gift that I can offer anyone, anytime, any place, any space, any face here on planet Earth, which is 3D, the best I can offer is always the cleanest, finest, most upcycled version of me. And that's after it's been beat up through a lifetime of trauma or whatever, however we grew up. Most people don't grow up without a life of trauma. And welcome to 2021, when we're all traumatized and very few people are emotionally mature enough to have risen above that. So we can all do some work in our closet quantumly about what it is that we can clean up about ourselves, and not so much about thee. It's not about cleaning up thee. It's about, let me clean up me, that I'm not triggered by thee. That's very different, and it's a daunting task. However, that's what we're called to do. And so this Lionsgate, I found myself walking quite a distance on foot to discharge some of the problematic energy that still tries to hover near me, that I don't want that, and really getting in touch with God frequency and saying, it's okay, because even if that energy is at my door, it cannot penetrate me anymore. I don't allow it. I shan't allow it. I disavow it. And you have that ability just as much as anybody, because we're all God's creatures. We're all divine creatures. We're all God frequency, higher intelligence, higher knowledge of thee, of me, of we. We're all that higher frequency. Now, some people get very put off and very turned off by the idea of God. I don't care what anybody calls it. It has to be understood, though, if we're not going to fight against the tide, that Earth rules dictate us. We don't dictate Earth rules. We have to work in accordance with gravity, with the laws of water leveling and lightning and, things like that, that physics, astrophysics, we have to abide by those. And that's what I base my life on. I understand that principle of fifth element is everything that I can't explain with science and with my knowledge of me. I have to understand that as divinity, and I hold that sacred and true, and I encourage you to hold that as sacred and true too, because if there's nothing sacred and true in your life that you hold as special, as in high regard, as in something that you respect, very few of us are born and known and grown to understand ourselves as that holy being. However, if you don't understand anything outside of yourself as being that higher entity, then there's really not that level of respect for divinity that, for me, will help carry thee forward through these portals, through these understandings, through Earth gravitational pull and Earth school. We are multidimensional creatures, and we are being called right now through activations of many planetary alignments and refinements and divinements. We're being called to reach inside and find the higher parts of us, the higher calling of us, the parts of us that ask us to reach outside our realm of normal understanding and do something outside that realm that might stretch us in a positive way. Not stretch us to do something horrible. We already know how to do that. All of us know how to go janky and weird, and most of us feel pretty guilty about that. And if we don't, I don't want to know you, quite frankly. However, most of us know what it is to step outside our divinity and know how awful that frequency feels. And I'm not looking to punish anybody that's outside their frequency. I simply want to say, look, you can let yourself be free. You can let yourself be whole and holy by honoring the fact that we step outside that frequency. We do. And we're expected to, because we have free will. And coming back home to the prodigal son coming back and saying, look, I'm undone. I don't know what to do. Where can I go with this? Is not about the brother who's going to shame and punish us. It's about the Father, the God frequency, the divinity, the whatever you consider the great source to be, whatever it is, that is in alignment with us more than our own ego and our own understanding of divinement. And if we can tune to that, then we can reach that divinity place, that space that will allow us to reach grace with our own selves. Because quite frankly, no one else is going to offer us forgiveness for our sins if we're not able to accept that forgiveness for ourselves. And if we aren't able to accept that for ourselves, then we haven't gone very far or in any depth within us of making mistakes, making errors, making boo-boos, and having to atone for that. We all make mistakes. We all make boo-boos. We all do things that we regret. And anybody that tells me that they don't, I don't want to know them, because you haven't found God frequency yet. You haven't reached that place of getting past the human ego, which is necessary. We have to have the human ego to survive. However, it cannot be the dominant trait. And especially at 8/8, August 8th, the Lion's Portal, that gate, that's an important one that lets us start anew, start refresh, start with that lion's roar of I'm on to a brand new way of being and a way of showing myself that is far more advanced, highbrow, and me. And I don't mean anything in particular. It's whatever you consider to be the highbrow you, the high collar you, the one that says, this is me, not you, boo. And not in an egotistical stomp you out in a bad way. Just, this is me. I recognize that and I see and I know what I be. And I allow you to be what you be without any threat to me. That's the difference. So I'm going to close it now with just simply the prayer that every single person that would come across this, may you know, and may you settle into the idea that you are divine, you are holy, and you are exquisite the way you are. And yes, we can all refine and choose to sharpen our skills and get more and more and more and more and more evolved. As we revolve, we can get more evolved and attuned to higher frequency. It's never going to stop. Human understanding is about higher consciousness. We want to know ourselves as higher consciousness, or we would have never started this game to begin with. Those that are stuck back there in, kind of a stupid loop, that's people that are afraid to go forward because it's the unknown. Those that are not afraid to go forward, or they're afraid but they're willing to do it anyway, those are the ones that are going to keep reaching for those higher and higher understandings, and they make it the norm. And then those others that are a little more afraid, they're not wrong or bad. They're just not as willing to let everything be had. So there you go with that. I've got to go now. I'm getting ready to cough. Goodbye.